2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A play fake. Now Kelly. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Parker unable to get that one, and it's third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Dolphins on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Kelly now, operating from the gun. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 44. Parker, the intended target. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Watson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Charles Harris in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And out come the Dolphins now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something
Heads up.
to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. This quarterback now just 6 of 15 through the air. Not good, but 1st and 10 here. Now a handoff for Drake. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Detroit!
To throw is Kelly. To throw on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys have got it back at the close closing stages of the first half. Trying to get it that time to Stills. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And his kick is good. So we've reached halftime here on the Thanksgiving night as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
To throw is Watson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. The 30, the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
Whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his second touchdown there. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now it's the backup Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Leopard! 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 Hurry up, here we go! 319! 319! Watch the ship!
They run it again with Williams. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Vontez Burfict, the one to get him down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's free yards. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
Hey, 20.
Tannehill hands to Dre. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. His throw incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Kelly on 3rd down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And this results in 6. Touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The extra point up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They'll start the drive with Dre. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They stay on the ground with Drake. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. On the give, this is Drake. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This will be fielded at the 17. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Tackled that time by Jerome Baker out of Ohio State.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They go again with Muhammad. And an alley to run. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The Texans on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go on the ground. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one.
Black 22! Black 22!
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. And on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Okay, Paul, we got 4. We got 4.
they try the right side here. Twisting away. And he's got this down to the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now they go with a slant that time, 15 yards and a 1st down. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now a handoff looking right. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The Texans on 3rd down. Now they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 5. And they'll run it here. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now it's Wilson. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he powers his way up past the 30. On the tackle, Tyrann Mathieu.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. On second down, here's Tannehill. And his pass incomplete. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. The Dolphins on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. Tannehill now to throw. And he finds Stills complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Texans say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
Leopard! Leopard!
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a desperate, and my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Justin Reed, and the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. He was looking for Parker that time. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And an alley to run. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for the Texans, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4-7. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.